It's been a while since a billionaire asked me to hop on a plane and go to an island for them.
Time for this.
Ocean Drives films with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse Cinema.
Well, I have to say, this is the most exciting thing in my week.
That
He's
might be
here.
more of a reflection on the week, though.
Well, he brings a ray of sunshine sometimes. Collie, how are the movies?
But the movies are pretty good, you know. And we were just when we were mentioning what we were going to talk about off air, I was thinking, well, we've a couple of very apt movies, but it's another one of those weeks where I think, oh, there's not a lot on. I wonder what I'll talk to Seamie about, and then it all builds up, and we get loads of much more interesting stuff than I thought of. So each week I always think this, and we start off. So we've got a new thriller. We've got a kids movie, and we've got a classic re-release and a couple other bits and bobs. But unusually, we'll talk about the new movie. It's one that you kind of hadn't heard of, and then when you were looking at the clip, you're going, "Oh, he's in it. Oh, she's in it." Yeah, it's an interesting cast. It's called Blink Twice, which I'm not sure is a great title, and it's a new psychological thriller starring Channing Tatum. And we'll play a little clip, and it fires straight into some of the plot.
Did we just jet off to a billionaire's island with a bunch of strangers? No, he's not a stranger. He's Slater King.
You having a good time?
I'm having a great time. Everybody's smiling and laughing. But there's something wrong with this place.
Oh, yeah. Of course you want to go to the island. You'd love to go to the island, wouldn't you, Collie? You'd be first on that plane.
It's been a while since a billionaire asked me to hop on a plane and go to an island for them. I hopped on a plane and went to Anyway recently, so that's almost the same thing. Yeah, this could be summed up as, if something is too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And so these two young girls that they work in a restaurant. They're always serving all these rich people, and they kind of get involved with them, and they're invited to live how the other half live. And it's just non-stop debauchery. The first thing you do when you arrive on the island, you give up your phones, and then everything is great. And yet there's a nagging feeling that there's something missing. There's something wrong. And then our main character wakes up and goes, "Where's my friend?" And everyone goes, "Who? Who are you talking about?" And we're into a whole different story. So it's a little bit like the classic sort of Agatha Christie sort of thrillers. We're all gathered in one big mansion. It's a bit like a movie that I loved a few years ago called Get Out, which was another one of those. Yeah, these things are too good to be true. Meets probably The White Lotus, because that big TV show, because there's a whole thing there about, oh, look at the luxury, and then after a while you go, God, it's obnoxious, isn't it? This wealth, this disdain, these people who are eating their dinner as food is put in them, they don't even look at the servants. There's all that sort of touch about it. And there's a really good cast. And like, you're watching it, you go, that's Gina Davis in quite a small role. Yeah. That's Christian Slater. That's the fellow with the beard. That's Haley Joel Osment, who you might remember from I See Dead People. That's who he is as the kid actor. So it's a really strong cast. And it probably has to be, because there's a little leap in it that maybe it's not that believable, but because the cast are so good, you're there. And Channing Tatum's playing this sort of billionaire. I'm not trying to say a certain Mr. Musk, but there's kind of a vibe there about it, who clearly has been involved in a scandal in the past, and he said sorry, and he's trying to make up for it. But is he really sorry?
Or is he sorry? Yeah.
I have to say, I watched this morning, and I really enjoyed it. It is got a thriller or scary bit to it, but it's much more thriller than scary. It's not really jumps and stuff. As she's trying to uncover what's really going on, who's the bad guy? Maybe it's her that's losing her mind, or somebody kind of gaslighting her. It's really smart. It's really clever. It's made by Zoe Kravitz, the actress, and also, Lenny Kravitz's daughter. And I tell you, for a first-time director, this is a proper job. There's a lot of more experienced directors that can watch this. Now, I have a feeling this will be one of these that in 2 years' time, people will be talking about on Netflix going, "Did you see that Blink Twice thing? It was great, wasn't it?" And I'd be going, "I told you about it when it was in the cinema." People might discover it, because it doesn't have that advertising, but it's really good, really smart, really clever.
Okay, right. We're liking that. And Chatham. Well, I spotted him and I said, "Is that Chatham?" It is, yeah. And it's completely different to anything I've seen him in. And
Yeah.
he's got a little bit of acting going on.
He's using that charisma that he
Yes,
uses in
yeah.
other movies for the dark side of it too, because lots of these people who've been involved in scandals recent times have charisma to them. That's sometimes how they lead you down the path. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, going to proper charisma. I'm going to play this first, and then we'll introduce it. There's a reason we're playing that, because you're bringing back Pulp Fiction. Is it an anniversary? It must be.
It's 30 years, Seamus.
30
years since Pulp Fiction. And what's funny about
don't
it
tell
too,
me. 30 years.
I was, I dressed up for the occasion. I don't have the hair, unfortunately. But then again, neither does John Travolta anymore. So there's two of us there. But funny, I was talking to the young people in the cinema, and quite a few of the, 18, 17-year-olds had seen it. But there was one girl who was in her 20s who hadn't seen it. And she just said, why should I watch it now, even though it's 30 years old? And I went, well, to me, this and Trainspotting changed the face of film in the 1990s. Just movies looked differently after. Now, I remember hearing somebody saying that they didn't know if Led Zeppelin were the best band ever, but they certainly inspired some of the worst bands ever. And that might be true of Pulp Fiction to a certain extent. You remember, we had a couple of great years of movies, but then for about 10 years, everyone was doing this crime thriller with different stories, and you can't just do that and expect it to be good. This was a really clever, good story, brilliant actors, everyone falling over themselves, dude. And you got to remember, it was quite the risk to put John Travolta into it.
Yeah.
And it started kind of his second career. Samuel L. Jackson was a well-known character actor, but he wasn't the star he is today. This was one of the things that catapulted him into a star. And it was maybe one of the first movies for a while we'd seen. Bruce Willis, he's not just a comedy action guy, that he could really act. He was really good in it. It's so quotable. It's still quite shocking, some of the lines in it, because, Quentin Tarantino, push the envelope.
Pull back. Yeah.
It looks great. It sounds amazing. Every party I went to in the 90s, people were playing the soundtrack to this, Reservoir Dogs and Jackie Brown, weren't they? And still, you play the music, people go, I know what
that is.
I know what he's talking about. And if you've never seen it on the big screen, or possibly never seen it, because it is 30 years, you can go there and you just go, wow. And even stuff like you'd be watching it and going, oh, that was the joke in The Simpsons that I never got, because it's so, it's such a part of culture. Sometimes a movie comes along. Probably the last one we had like that was Barbie, that something comes in that people are going to be making jokes about in 10 years, references to it.
When is that on? When are you playing that?
It's on Saturday and Tuesday. In the Director's Lounge. It's 30 years time, so we're bringing it back for a limited time. There's a way to see it in comfort in the big screen.
Okay, right, we'll move on. The Amazing Spider-Man back again.
Yeah, it's part of the Spider-Man stuff thing, one a week. Now we've finished with Tobey Maguire. We're on to Andrew Garfield, which I remember at the time saying on the radio, it's not a bit soon for a new Spider-Man. And then it was really good. So this one's back again in 1 week only.
We have one for the kids in there, and it's Noah's Ark. It's not the Noah's Ark. This is a kid's movie.
No, not the radio. The cameras around then. But this is one of those. I was going, why is that coming this time of year? You think,
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, Noah's Ark. And then we've had the weather we've had this week, and you go, that was very apt, really, wasn't it? But this is the thing of where, look, it's kind of like Sing meets Noah's Ark. The animals are kind of auditioning by singing to get onto the Ark with Noah. So it's full of cutesy fun. Probably drive some parents bananas, but the kids have seen everything. The weather is still rubbish, and we've still got some holidays left, and this will just hit the sweet spot just nicely. Full of cute, funny animals. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. That's for the kids. Thelma's coming back as our Mr. Monday.
Mr. Monday, a movie I really enjoyed, and I said to my good friends Marion and Carol, who are part of the Bundoran Movie Club, they should go and see it, and they told me I was an idiot and they didn't like it. But they are wrong, Seamie, I'm afraid to say. It's cute, but maybe I didn't let them know how quirky it is. It's funny, it's clever. It's about a granny who's scammed out of money and she decides to take her own revenge. I loved it.
Okay, all right. That's all we got, and all the time we got. Enjoy the movies this week, and hopefully it will stop raining someday in Bundoran.
Someday, maybe not too soon.
All right. Thanks, Collie. Enjoy the movies. Till next Thursday.